that are made by people. Okay, yeah, I can hear the internet, arguing that point, and that's great. The Convergent Synergy Tweeter Mark V, as far as tweeters go, there's no other tweeter that brings us closer to the music or the listener closer to the music, in our opinion.
So speak to that, since we're getting to that point. How do you know that you're actually closer to the music? What is Wilson's core philosophy about the reference that you compare it to, as opposed to, say, I just happen to like this sound, so I'm going to...
Yeah. I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. And so if I only use Dark Side of the Moon or, whatever reference, great album, as my source, I wasn't at the recording session, right? I don't know that space. What we do try to do, though, is go to concert halls, to listen to live unamplified music, to hear how sound should sound. Sounds weird, but that's the best way I can describe it. And at the Concertgebouw, with its tall ceilings and how the music just wraps up over the top, and it has a different feel. And the recordings, you get the sense of the hall in the recordings. It has a different acoustic feel. The sound of the environment is different than the Musikverein, and it's different than Bravenel Hall. Different than the Tabernacle and on Temple Square. I mean, there are these spaces that we go to and we listen to music, and we have good relations with people at various in different parts of the world that give us special access, like a Severance Hall. Franz Veldermost, he's the principal there, or at least he was. I don't know if he still is, and you can edit this out, but we went there and met up with Franz. We installed some duets in his home at the Ottersee in Europe. But we came back, went to Cleveland, and he gave us special access to the hall during rehearsals, and we were able to sit wherever we want and listen. Same with the Musikverein. We were able to go in during rehearsals, thanks to Peter Polton. He's the director of the archives over at the Staatsoper, and in the Staatsoper we have the same. We can go anywhere and sit and listen to the music. It'll never be, and I think this is another point that people argue, is live better than recorded? Well, none of the seats are ever where the microphone is. It's fundamentally a different position than what you're ever going to hear in the audience. However, you do get a sense of the space, and when you're close to instruments, you get a sense of what that instrument should. The violin should have some body to it, and that body sounds different between different manufacturers and different ages and whatnot. And if you haven't heard that, and you don't have a reference, how can you really get the music closer to it? During the develop of the XVX, my dad, years and years ago, 40 years ago to be exact, he was doing a recording in Grace Cathedral, and he was there alone with my mom, and he's like, I just need to do a microphone test. And it was, hey mom, it's AKG, he was doing a microphone test between a Sheps and an AKG. And so he was preparing for an organ recording that he was going to do. And so he recorded with one and recorded with the other. And I love using that recording, and it really helped with XVX because there's no other voice in the world that I know better than my mom's voice as she's singing. I heard her in my entire childhood warming up in the mornings and choir and singing, and I know when her voice is about to break. I know when her voice isn't warmed up, the texture of that sound. It's a very familiar thing to me, right? So that recording is such a gem to me because putting it on, the space, I'm listening for the space, and I know what she should sound like. And there